Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about the Phoenician Scheme. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay, so this right here is a Wes Anderson flick. Probably know who he is. He's made a number of movies, a number of well received movies. I mean, really starting from like World 10 Bombs, like that's like the one that really they put him on the map. It's like that, Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou, Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is a favorite of mine. Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest Hotel, which is his highest grossing movie. Isle of Dogs, French Dispatch, Asteroid City, and a Hero Phoenician Scheme. So as I mentioned, like a lot of his movies he's made have been very well received. He has a very loyal fan base. Maybe not as big as like some other directors like Christopher Nolan, for example, but that fan base is there and they will show up to support his work, which is better than having no one there at all. So yeah. Wes Anderson, his track record with his movies and everything, I will label that as a pro. Because his name, the fact that it's a movie from him, is the reason why people would even want to watch this thing. So yeah, that's pro number one, Wes Anderson. Pro number two, the cast here. As usual with Wes Anderson movies, he has a lot of big names in this cast. Like, it's kind of absurd. But we got a number of people in here. We got our main man here is Benicio del Toro, who's known for quite a few movies. Like in like see you're trying to pinpoint like the important ones. Okay, I see Traffic. I see Sin City. Okay, not the Wolfman. Was I, was he like the main guy as the Wolfman? It doesn't matter. There's Savages. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Sicario. He's the main guy in that. Or wait, he was. That may have been Emily Blunt, but I know he was the main guy in the sequel, like him and Josh Brolin. I know that. I forgot he was even in Infinity War. I think he got killed amongst other characters. Yeah, he was in Last Jedi for some reason. His character didn't really do a lot. I think he just betrayed the heroes. I think that's kind of it. Oh my god, he voiced Endora the he voiced Swiper in Dora and the Lost City. I feel like that's a movie I need to watch at some point because I feel like that movie's just going to be a massive fever dream. But yeah, that's a movie I need to watch at some point. And he's going to be in one battle after another, in September. But yeah, he's definitely a recognizable face. I can definitely say that. So he's recognizable. Most of his cast here is recognizable. This Mia Thurp. Okay, she hasn't really been in anything besides Phoenician Scheme. But we got Michael Cera in here. Let's talk about him. And Michael Cera, his main claim to fame was Super Bad alongside Jonah Hill, which Super Bad was a big old hit back in 2007. And after that, he immediately was in Juno, which was also a big hit. Some other movies here. There's Nick Nora's Infinite Playlist. I think that did okay. You got Scott Pilgrim, which didn't do that well financially, but became a big cult hit later on. And we ended up getting like an anime adaptation, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which had all of the live action cast reprising their roles in that, which is pretty epic. And yeah, this is the end where he played a coked out version of himself. He did some voiceover work. I know he was, Robin in the Lego Batman movie, and he was Alan in, Barbie. He was like the only Alan. Everybody else was either a Barbie or a Ken. But yeah, Michael Cera is definitely recognizable. Like, no doubt about that. We got some more people in here. Riz Ahmed. Talk about him. Let's see. Mm. He was in Nightcrawler, not related to X-Men. This is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. Jason Bourne, Rogue One. He was the main villain in the first Venom movie. Then here he is in Phoenician Scheme. So yeah, he's recognizable. A lot of people here are recognizable. Tom Hanks. I mean, man's a legend at this point. I don't need to really go over his track record too much. I'll just pinpoint his. I'll just highlight his important movies. Let's see. There's Big, Turner and Hooch, kinda. I know The Burbs is like a cult classic. See, A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4. Saving Private Ryan, You've Got Mail, Green Mile, Castaway, Road to Perdition, Catch Me If You Can. Terminal did Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons. Let's see, Captain Phillips, Saving Mr. Banks to a lesser extent. There's Cloud Atlas, which I like, but the movie just bombed terribly. Sully, Bridge of Spies, kinda. The Post, I guess. I think A Beautiful Day in Neighbor. I don't think that did well in the grand scheme of things. But there's Elvis, Man Called Otto, and he was in Asteroid City, which was Wes Anderson's last movie. He has some flops in here. For the most part, he has a really solid track record, and most of his movies are classics, so that helps too. We got Bryan Cranston, Walter White himself, mainly known for Breaking Bad on TV, but in the movie world, he's been some stuff. Most of this is like supporting role type stuff, like Contagion and like Drive. Forgot he was in John Carter. Yeah, he voiced in Madagascar 3. Vitaly was like the tiger in that. Yeah, a lot of this is like, supporting role stuff. He was in Godzilla, where he died real quick in that movie to the shock of everybody. Um, let's see. He was Zordon in Power Rangers. The reboot no one really liked. um, see The Upside, that was a hit. Um, see, there's also in Asteroid City. Well, nobody liked Argyle. That he voiced in like Kung Fu Panda 4, but yeah, Bryan Cranston. People absolutely know who he is, so I don't need to go over him too much. Who else do we have? Jeffrey Wright, known for like stuff on the big screen and the small screen, but in the movie world, it's been quite a few movies here. It's mainly like a supporting actor guy. Like say in Ali and Manchurian Candidate, and then Casino Royale, then Quantum of Solace, Source Code. He was in the Hunger Games as a BD and Catching Fire in the Mockingjay movies. I know that. No Time to Die. He was James Gordon in the Batman. He was in I think American Fiction, which was a big like awards movie. And then the small screen, he was just in Last of Us season 2 as Isaac, a role he originally did in the game. So having like someone do a voice role and then reprise that role in live action, you don't see that too often, but it happened there, and it's gonna happen again with Gerard Butler in the How to Train Your Dragon remake, which is just weird but kind of cool at the same time. But yeah, Jeffrey Wright, people know who he is. Scarlett Johansson, the former Black Widow. Yeah, people know who the hell she is. Absolutely. I mean, I still remember from Home Alone 3. But after that, there's Lost in Translation. She voiced Mindy in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. See In Good Company, The Prestige. He's Just Not That Into You. Iron Man 2, that was her first role as Black Widow. So that, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, where she died in that movie, and then Black Widow, the movie. So yeah, her MCU movies. Oh, The Spirit. God. I think she said like a line that's just stuck in my head where like, she said like so seriously what was like her and Samuel L. Jackson were like talking to this guy and then like they're talking like on a box and then she's like, "What other box you fart?" That's I swear to God that was an actual line of dialogue in that movie. It was just horrible. Anywho, I see we bought a zoo. There's Don John. There's Her, a movie that's become a little too realistic considering what's been going on now. I see Chef Lucy. That was a big hit. That movie made people want a Black Widow movie so bad. Too bad it took like 7 years for it to come out, but we got it eventually, I guess. See, there's voiceover roles like in Jungle Book and Sing. Oh, Ghost in the Shell. Oof. Yikes. There's Jojo Rabbit. There's Black Widow. Asteroid City. So, again, all, these not people from that movie are in Phoenician Scheme. And she voiced in Transformers 1. And we're about to see her again real soon in Jurassic World Rebirth as like the main character. But yeah, Scarlett Johansson, hella recognizable. Benedict Cumberbatch, another MCU actor here, mainly known as Sherlock and Holmes in the Sherlock show. But in the movie world, you know, trying to think of like the major ones. There's Warhorse. He was Khan in Star Trek in the Darkness. There was I think he voiced Smaug in the Hobbit movies. There's he was one of the many people in 12 Years a Slave. He was in the Intimidation Game. He voiced the wolf dude in Penguins in Madagascar. I know that because there's a lot of memes surrounding that movie. And like him just standing side by side by his character. Um, we're gonna ignore Zoolander 2 because one, he was like a minor role in that, and two, his character was just oof, big yikes. It aged like absolute milk. Just it's bad. Just don't look into it. Anyway, and then of course Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, and he made a little appearance in Thor Ragnarok, then Infinity War, then Endgame, then No Way Home, and then Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness. And I'm pretty sure he's in Doomsday. I think there's too many names in Doomsday for me to remember, but I'm pretty sure he's in that too. He voiced the Grinch and Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. I should mention that. He was in 1917, and that's just kind of it after that. But yeah, people know who Benedict Cumberbatch is, just like Scarlett Johansson. Um, Rupert Friend, what has he been in? Well, he's no, I know he's a supporting actor. um, oh, he was the guy did Agent 40. Oh my god, no one remembers that movie at all for good reason because it was just shit, just absolute shit. It's best no one remembers it. The Simple Favor. That's a movie I feel like I need to watch at some point. French Dispatch, Asteroid City, and what, bruh? Another Jurassic World Rebirth actor in here. A movie I'm going to be talking about in a few weeks. Great. So yeah, he's in here. Gotta like. And then who else do we have? This Hope Davis. She been in anything? Oh, she was Tony Stark's mom in Civil War, where her and Howard, were murdered by the Winter Soldier. Bucky. So yeah, I know that. Yeah, most of this is like very much like supporting actress type of stuff. Not exactly main character stuff. But she was in Asteroid City, so we got a whole lot of Asteroid City connections here. Yeah, here's like the whole list of people here on screen, but as their characters. But yeah, big cast here, a lot of big names. Labeling that as a pro, obviously. Another pro, it's a limited release, went pretty well last week. It opened in 6 theaters, had a per theater average of 93K, which is the type of per theater average you want because that gets attention and makes people interested in the movie. So yeah, strong per theater average. So I'll label a strong limited run for its 1 week it was in limited release. Did strong. So I'll label that as a pro. Um Another pro, reviews for this movie. They're good, albeit not quite as high as like other Wes Anderson movies, but they're still like solid. 79% critic score, that's still good. 74% critic score is a little more, is a slightly more concerning. But I mean, Dangerous Animals has like a 70% audience score, but that's kind of typical for a movie like that. But for this, that's a little lower than it should be. What's really concerning, though, I guess I can label this as a con. What's really concerning is its cinema score as a B minus. That's rough. That's not great. That doesn't bode well at all. So I guess maybe only the Wes Anderson faithful like it. Everyone else is just like, huh? Or they just didn't vibe with it. That's what I get. But Asteroid City, how did that do? That got a B. Okay. That got a B. Um Grand Budapest Hotel, how did that do? Grand. Did that even, I guess it didn't. Hmm. Hotel. No, not on here. Okay. So a B minus, that doesn't bode well. But it's, critics wise, it's a pro, but audience wise, it's more of a con. So I guess I'll label that as a con. I guess we can go for actual cons now, bigger cons. Big con with this movie is that Wes Anderson, as much as people like his stuff is very niche. That's just an objective truth. It is niche. It is not for everybody. Because his style is very much, like, how do I describe it? Like, he has a style that's not going to click with everybody. Let's just say that. Like, if it does click with you, then that's great. If it doesn't, then you're probably not going to like the movie very much. But he has a very particular style to his movies. Like, a lot of directors have a particular style with their movies, and Wes Anderson has his own. And he has an audience, but not like a huge audience, though. So that's always gonna like be a problem with his movies. So yeah, just the niche nature of Wes Anderson movies, I'll label that as a con. Another con is competition. Just a lot going on in terms of movies. A lot of movies that are out right now. A lot of movies that are going to be out in a few weeks. That's a lot to deal with. I'm not sure if this movie can handle all that competition. Not even just like big movies. I mean, next week, I mean, sure, you have the How to Train Your Dragon remake. They also have like another movie, The Materialist, which I don't know. Like that movie could do a little bit of damage to this. I can't say how much, but yeah, like just the amount of movies that are gonna be out in a few weeks, I feel like that's gonna like hurt this movie. So I'm gonna label that as a con. Well, I got his Friday numbers, so I guess I can talk about that. His Friday numbers aren't great. They're not awful, but they're not great. They're definitely, I think they're noticeably worse than Asteroid City. So that's not a good sign. Like I mentioned, it's the per theater count, it's in theater count, like about 1,700 theaters. That's not a lot. It's not an overwhelming amount, so that's not helping the movie either. So I guess that's a con too. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So opening weekend, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say, judging by its Friday numbers, it's gonna open between probably 6 million, maybe 6 to 7 million, probably closer to 6 to 7 million opening weekend, and then its total. I'm not sure how long its legs are gonna be. Maybe like 20 mil, probably. I'm gonna say 20 mil final total, and yeah, that's it. We're done for the weekend. Yay. Ugh. Yeah, these past 2 weeks have been kind of quiet. Nothing crazy's been going on. I mean, look at Jelly Ballerina. Oh, that's not doing good at all. That's pulling a Furiosa. That's eek. Oof. But next week looks a lot stronger. So we got the How to Train Your Dragon remake. I know people frown upon like these live action remakes, but that Lilo and Stitch movie, it made a lot of money. So if that can make money, this can make money too, especially considering how beloved that original How to Train Your Dragon movie is. But it's not just that. We got like Materialist, Unholy Trinity, and then Life with Chuck. So next week's going to be rather busy. So stay tuned for next week for like those movies. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got a playlist on the homepage. All previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of them? Go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. May recap will be next weekend. May was a rather interesting month. It started out a little but it ended strong, hella strong, with Memorial Day. So I'll get to talk about all that, next week. And then June recap, that will be the second weekend of July. So stay tuned for that as well. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also box office, the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about Phoenician Scheme. There's like 250 episodes of canceled. So if you want to binge watch that whole series, I highly suggest you do that. So go do it. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.